This video shows a restorative circle used for a core counseling lesson. This was the class's third experience in whole group restorative circle, and the responses are authentic and unscripted. The sequence of components and safe circle rules are taken and adapted from the Teaching Restorative Practices with Classroom Circles curriculum developed for the San Francisco Unified School District. I informed the students at the beginning of the day that our instructional coach, Mrs. Pintek, would be recording this circle. The physical creation of a circle is the first step in opening the circle. At the time of recording this video, our fourth grade classes were departmentalized. Core counseling was scheduled at the beginning of the class's homeroom block at 1:30 in the afternoon. When introducing restorative circles to Ms. Studer's class, we collectively built a routine for moving the tables and chairs to create a circle without barriers. The students were tasked with transitioning from their math block and immediately moving the tables to the perimeter of the room. Students and staff are responsible for bringing their own chair to the circle. If we anticipate a late arrival to the circle, an empty chair can be added in the beginning to reduce distractions later in the circle. In younger grade levels, students and staff typically sit around the edge of the classroom carpet area. This core counseling circle starts with 19 students, one classroom teacher, Mrs. Studer, one special education associate, Mrs. Hodges, and me, Mrs. Mowry, the school counselor. Staff members are intentionally positioned to help support students who might need gentle reminders throughout the circle. At this point in the video, I am ensuring that all faces can be seen without the need to lean forward too much, while being mindful of personal space and comfort levels. One student arrives partway through the first round of sharing and joins the circle with minimum distraction. Opening the circle also includes stating the purpose of the circle and an opening routine. Our routine is a simple greeting that I have always used to open core counseling classes.
Hello, fourth grade.
Hello, Miss Mallory.
Today is our last circle of fourth grade. We do have one more counseling class left, and it won't be next week, it'll be the week after. But that day is an assessment day, so we won't get into a circle that day. So thank you for getting into your circle quickly and safely today. We will review the rules of circle, of a safe circle, and then we will get started today. Our topic is all about future plans, those future pathways today. So it's one of my very favorite topics, and you guys are one of my last classes to hear those future plans. So I'm very excited about today's circle.
The final part of opening the circle is reviewing the safe circle rules. These rules were slightly adapted from the guidelines listed in the resource mentioned at the start of this video.
The 4 rules of a safe circle. The first, most important one is to listen with your heart. Make sure that you are truly listening to the people who are brave enough to share. This is something that you can make a lot of connections with people, but making sure that they feel safe in that sharing is very, very important. So we do that by listening, just hearing what they have to say. No noises, no laughter, nothing to make them feel unsafe. Rule number 2 is to share with your heart. When it's your turn to share, make sure that you are sharing just how you feel. There's no right or wrong answers. It's just what you feel in your heart. You don't always have to share if you don't feel ready to share, but because this is about futures, I really want to hear what you do have to share. So when you feel comfortable, you can share. Ms. Hodges, would you like to do this? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Remember, we'll use that talking piece again today to show whose turn it is to talk and whose turn it is to listen. When it's in your hand, it's your turn to share. When it's not in your hand, it's just your turn to listen. So we do a lot more listening than sharing, which is really important because then we learn a lot about our classmates. Rule number 3 is you don't have to have a plan. If you're not really sure what to say, that's okay. Just share what's in your heart, share how you feel about it, and then pass. If you don't know, you can pass. If you don't know what to say, you can pass the talking piece on. Rule number 4 is to just say enough. Talking about our futures can be very exciting, but just share a short answer so that we have enough time for all of us to get that time in sharing. Any questions about our safe rules? You guys are one of my best classes I've A reminder, if you can't hear what someone is saying, I want you to just kind of cup your ear like this. This is kind of the symbol for I can't hear you. Today, because there's the fan that's going, we're recording it, so I want to try and catch your voices on the video. So make sure that you're really sharing with that level 2, that sharing out voice. And if you can't hear what someone is saying across the circle, you can just show us with your hand instead of with your voice, okay? Any questions with that?
Once a safe circle has been established, content can be introduced. In this community building circle, I start with a low-risk check-in question to encourage student participation.
All right. Our check-in question today is to name one person who makes you feel excited about the future. The future is tomorrow. The future is this summer. The future is 5th grade, middle school, college. Everything in your life ahead of you today is the future. So share with me one person, or maybe two, who helps you feel excited about that future, about what comes next. For me, my 3rd grade teacher, her name was Miss Miller. She was the first person to make me really excited about my future because she was the first teacher that I had that I thought, I really want to be a teacher someday. So she made me be excited about what kind of job I would have when I got older. So name one person who makes you feel excited about the future.
Because she always makes me happy, and when I go to practice and be scared to play with the big boys.
When you're scared to play with big boys, is that what you said?
My mom and my dad, because they always want me to be a good kid, go to college, so I can get a doctor's degree, so I can be something special in my life.
I'm going to take one picture from here. I'm going to say my grandchildren, and they are my future, and I want to make sure that they know all that they need to know, so that when they grow up, they will know what to do.
I will say my husband, John Studer, he helps me plan for our next part of our life.
My grandma. And the teachers here. And Miss Hodges, Mr. Foster, and Miss Linda. My parents and the teachers. Mom, because she helps and supports me and graduate college and have good grades. My mom, because she helps me if I get stuck on something and I can't figure it out. My mom, because she teaches me not to be bad. My family, because they say good things about the future. Without them, I won't be really excited about the future because they're part of my life. My parents, because they encourage me to try my best. My mom, because my parents, because they encourage me. Thank you.
As mentioned previously, one student joined the circle partway through the check-in. Even though he came late, it is important that he feel connected and safe in the circle.
William, welcome to our circle. You kind of came in the middle, so I'm going to give you a chance to share. Can you scooch back just a little bit, Michelle, so I can see William? We just shared our opening circle was to name someone who helps us feel excited about our future. So between now and growing up, is there someone who makes you feel excited about your future? Can you pass that to William so he has a copy and piece to share? Samson, what does Samson do to make you excited about the future?
How I can draw.
Thank you. Go ahead, share it, pass it back to me, and we'll go with our second question.
This circle occurred during our Educational Pathways unit, and the following round of sharing connects directly with the Des Moines Public Schools core counseling curriculum objectives, as well as the American School Counseling Association's Mindsets and Behavior Standards for Student Success.
So we identified people in our life who help us feel excited, and I liked hearing lots of family. I liked hearing people here at school. I liked hearing some friends and that too. That's nice that we are able to make that connection with people who help support us. Next, I want you to finish this sentence. The thing I am most excited about in the future is... Tell me what you're most excited about. Maybe you're most excited because your birthday is this summer and you're having a big party. Maybe you're most excited about getting a job and living all by yourself. Maybe you're excited about going to college or middle school, high school. What are you most excited about in the future? So finish this sentence. I am most excited about the future because... I am most excited about the future because my daughter is moving to a different school next year. She's going from 7th grade to 8th grade, and that's a big step for her, and I'm excited to see how she does.
I'm excited because when I grow up, I can go to NBA, I can get a mansion. I'm excited because when I get older, I want to go to football and meet Adrian Peterson. I'm excited because when I grow up, I'm going to finish college and go to the NFL, and I can be rich and get a big house. I'm excited because
If you're not sure now, what do you go as next?
I'm excited about the future because I feel that I can reach students.
I'm excited about the future because I can retire and travel.
I'm excited about the future because I'm probably do a good job that pays good money to work for a shift in the morning, probably not like until like a half of the day. That's when I'm going to my job. And then after that, get a good job and have a good life and probably I'm finish college and then get a nice job.
Thank you.
I'm excited because excited to go to college and then finish college. I'm excited to go to college and finish it. I'm excited because for my birthday every year I write a note. I'm excited about graduating college so I could have a good life. I'm excited because this summer my birthday. I'm excited because this summer I'm going to Orlando, Florida with my family. I'm excited about the future because I can go and learn Spanish, Japanese, and
excited about the future because I can go to college and graduate.
I'm excited about the future when we get my license.
I'm excited from the future because I could probably make videos about gaming or something and make money.
Thank you all for sharing those future plans. There's a lot of things that I didn't know about you guys, and I always like hearing those future plans. So I'm glad that you guys were brave enough to share.
The next round of sharing is a question that was not asked in every classroom. Due to the level of self-disclosure required, the following question was only asked if a high degree of trust was observed during the first 2 rounds of sharing. Given that every student and staff member felt safe enough to share during the first 2 rounds, I felt comfortable in asking a high-risk question.
Our next question around is a little bit harder, and it might be a little bit more uncomfortable to share, but I still really want you to share your truth if you feel safe enough in sharing it with your classmate. Our next question is about your biggest worry or what you're most worried about when it comes to the future. Remember, your future is everything after today, so it could be you're worried about this summer. It could be worried about going off to college and being by yourself. What is that like? Or driving a car. What is the thing that you are most worried about in the future? For me, knowing that my daughter is getting close to college age, I'm worried about having enough money to pay for college for her.
Hopefully that my grandma drives, she should drive safe. And so she gets sick each time she comes home.
I'm worried that when my grandma drives to be safe because she's running in and out of the hospital.
I'm worried that when my mom drives, because before she got in an accident, she broke her arm. I don't want that to happen to my family no more, so that we don't have to pay for hospital bills, so that we have enough money to pay for colleges.
What's your biggest worry about the future? Can you say that again?
Worried that I don't come home.
I'm worried about the most in the future staying healthy so I can enjoy my grandchildren one day.
I'm also worried about my grandma because when she reaches old age, she's gonna die. And then after that, I'm gonna be more worried about when I grow up, what am I gonna do with my grandchildren? I might do something like my grandma, go somewhere with us, go somewhere with them like Disneyland or something, and then let them have the fun time they had. Me and my sister had when we was kids. So our parents can feel the excitement and the fun that we had.
I'm worried about my mom because she got a job at a restaurant, but she had an injury to her hands. I don't know if she's okay.
I'm worried about college because I'm the only one there that's really I'm going to be worried about my baby brother grows up. Because I'm not going to be there for him. I'm worried about my mom when me and my sister move to college or when we're by ourselves because I don't know if she's going to be okay by herself because she has surgery on her back, and she's going to be surgery on her foot in maybe a few months or so.
I'm worried about college not being as fun as I thought it would be.
Not see your friends. Is that what you're saying?
I'm worried about husband because she might be surgery.
I'm worried about not getting paid.
High-risk questions can create a heavy emotional climate in the circle and should always be followed up with acknowledgement of bravery for those who shared. The final content-related round of sharing was intentionally planned to help lighten the mood before the closing round.
Thank you guys for being brave enough to share those worries and those fears. Some of your fears are fears that I think a lot of people can connect with. Fears about getting older, fears about being away from our family or them being away from us. And it's really important for us to understand that we do have some of the same fears, and we might share some of those fears with others. And like I said, we don't like talking about it. It kind of makes us feel uncomfortable. But it's very important to talk about so that you get the support and the listening that you need. So the next circle around, I want to know, who do you have who helps you in those tough times? So we shared who helps us feel excited, but next I want you to share, when you're having those worries, when you're having those fears, who can you talk to about it who's going to help you feel a little bit better? It could be the same person, it could be a different person, but who do you have that you know is going to support you during those worries and those fears? For me, I knew that my brothers, I have an older brother and a little brother, who I know that no matter what, they're always there to support and listen to me. They've known me almost my whole life, so being able to count on them is important for me. Who helps support you through those fears or through worries? Who helps you? You got a little bit louder.
Sometimes
The teachers here and my mom and my grandma. My dad and my two older sisters, because if I don't have a good day, they always help me so I can have a better day the next day.
I would say my husband, daughter, and son. Who helps you?
My sister, she sometimes helps me by saying stuff to calm me down. Me and Nathan used to be scared of the dark, so then we got over that. My big sister. My parents, because they give me support and they help me my whole family. Like my friends, because they always make me smile. My friend who lives in Pennsylvania.
Thank you guys for sharing those connections. I liked hearing that a lot of families always there to support you. Knowing that our family is there to count on is really important. I liked hearing teachers' names. I really liked hearing friends' names. Those are things that are great to have those connections here and older. I know when we shared some fears, some of you were worried about when you go to college or not seeing your friends later on, maybe after middle school. But knowing that we have the partnership with Iowa State, if you plan to go to Iowa State, you're going to start school the same time as everyone that's in this class. So that's always something to look forward to. Knowing how to get in contact with teachers after you are older and away from King is something that is important too. Knowing you can always come back to King and we can always find a way to connect you even after Miss Duda retires. We can find a way to track her down if you need some support.
The closing round of sharing is an intentional ritual that signals the end of the circle and helps students prepare for transitioning back to normal classroom routines. The closing round is also a great way to gain informal perception data from each circle participant. Throughout the entirety of the circle, I track which students participate using a roster on my clipboard. During the closing round, I will indicate if the student shares a positive or negative response.
Our last checkout question is just how did you feel today during circle? We talked a lot about some exciting things about the future, but we talked about some hard things too. So I just want to hear what your feeling was during circle and why you felt that way.
It was happy hearing all my friends and people in my class what they had to say about the questions.
It was happy because I could hear all my classmates what they like and what some things as fears that we have in common.
I thought it was a good time to get to thinking of sometimes you don't really know the exciting days really have to, you know, be more for the future for yourselves.
I feel proud because you all opened yourself up and let your feelings know.
I felt happy and kind of sad because we're not going to be able to see this smiling again for our time.
One more time. You'll get to see me one more time for counseling class, but you'll always see me in the halls, right?
So it's going to be sad not seeing her in our classes. Because sometimes we'll think that she's coming that day, but she's really not because she's not going to come this year. So I feel sad just not really going to be our teachers right here. But I'm happy because it was a nice thing to know that what our friends want to do.
Some people already said some of my feelings. I did feel proud, like Ms. Studer, hearing you be brave enough to share. I felt inspired knowing what some of your plans for the future are, and knowing that if you follow those plans, then you guys can really change the world. I did feel sad because some of your fears are kind of the same fears that I had growing up, and knowing that those fears are a real fear, but also really happy that everyone was able to say someone who could support them through those fears. You guys were an amazing group today. You guys shared. Were very, very brave, even talking about something that was really a hard thing to talk about.
Since recording this video, I have added a more in-depth closure to high-risk circles. Students are guided through visualizing leaving any uncomfortable thoughts within the safety of the circle. We also end all circles with yoga breaths using yoga pretzel cards developed by Tara Gruber and Leah Kalish. I have not received any formal training in restorative practices, and this video was recorded during my 3rd week of using restorative circles in core counseling. The decision to use whole group circles took a lot of planning and mental preparation. My biggest fear was managing wait time, and in the end, my students exceeded my expectations. By establishing clear safe circle rules and monitoring the circle for participation and trust, the students and staff at King Elementary have been able to connect with each other in a positive and restorative manner. Using community building circles during core counseling has also laid the foundation for restorative circles as a response to harm. I hope this video has been helpful in your journey to using restorative circles in the classroom setting. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me using the information on the screen.